Don't worry, people. Kelly has warned me about stealing kisses. So tonight we're going to talk about controllers. So, as you guys know, I have the Evercade Alpha, the not portable bar top from Evercade. Uh, that also, in addition to the joystick panel that's on there, which gives you your typical 6 button layout for Street Fighter branded, so it gives you that traditional 6 button layout for Street Fighter. It has two USB controller ports. So not only can a second person play, but I would really recommend too, if you're playing with two people, you should probably both use controllers because it'll make it a lot easier to see than somebody cuddling up next to you doing it to look over your shoulder. So more comfortably, you can have two controllers in there. So I was trying some of my different controllers to see how they all worked out. Especially there are certain games that lend themselves more to a controller than the arcade style, some of the computer games and things. So I was trying out different controllers and I ran into a problem with my Xbox controller. And I think I figured out what the problem was. It wasn't reading any of the inputs with the Xbox controller, but my other like 8-bit Do controllers and stuff worked fine. I think it's because the Xbox controller needs to be powered on, and I think that's where the problem was. I guess the Evercade, at least in its current state, just doesn't know how to do that. I'm not a programmer, so I can't explain that, but you do have to hit the power button on the Xbox controller to turn it on, and it just doesn't read that. So I was thinking about getting a controller that would just be dedicated to that I can leave over there. So going with a 6 button Genesis controller made the most sense to me. For anybody who doesn't know, the famous 6 button Genesis controller was actually developed specifically for Street Fighter. A bunch of other games utilized it as well, but the original Genesis controller was only 3 buttons. And when Street Fighter was finally coming out for Genesis, which is a big deal because Nintendo had an exclusive deal for the Street Fighter 2 port that they had. So once they started making variations on that, because for anyone who doesn't know, there's 1,000 versions of Street Fighter 2, that contractually opened up possibilities for Capcom to license it to Genesis. And they ended up developing the game in-house themselves instead of farming it out to another company, which is originally what they were to do, but they didn't like the results of it. And in tandem with that, Genesis developed a 6 button controller that matched the layout, the button layout of Capcom arcade games. And that actually became so popular that that controller has been carried over to a lot of other things, not just Sega systems, but it's been copied by other systems too. So for the Street Fighter anniversary, they did an official Street Fighter branded Sega 6 button controller, which I picked up on Amazon for $20. I'll show you a prop, and I sent Kelly a nice photo so you guys can see it up close. But you get the Street Fighter artwork on there, you get the cool colors and everything. Still has the mode button on top of it. This worked perfectly, and obviously because I have the Street Fighter Evercade Alpha, this lines up branding wise. If you're interested in that sort of thing, this is really a perfect option. $20. It's the Street Fighter layout, Street Fighter artwork. This is the perfect thing for it. I have one complaint though that I wanted to share before I get Kelly's thoughts on this. So, like some other controllers that have come out recently, this gives you the option of using it with the original port or USB port so that you can use it for PC or anything else that takes that, which is great. But unlike a lot of the options that I have, it's not an adapter that does it. It's this. It's two different ends on there with a large adapter middle section on it. Now, hanging off the front of my Evercade Alpha, this doesn't matter because there's plenty of room all around it. But let's just say, for example, I wanted to use this on my Hyperkin, which has ports for each of the controller styles for systems that it can use cartridges of, which are on the side of the system. This you might run out of space with trying to put this in somewhere. So my Hyperkin, for example, I have on a shelf. There's a limited amount of space on either side of the shelf. For normal controllers, that's fine. For this, it's getting a little bit tight. And if you have a smaller shelf than I do, this might not even work for you. So, Kelly, what are your thoughts on this? Are you a Sega 6 button guy at all?
Well, I know my shelf's not smaller, but the yeah. So It looks great. We are an Amazon affiliate, so we'll include a link to where you can get your own. Ignore what Mike said about the it's absolutely nothing wrong. You should purchase it, following the link that'll be in the description there. But I don't because I don't have a Hyperkin. I do have the Sega Mini that gives me the three button experience. But I don't have much call for it. And I'm not as big a Street Fighter fan as you. So, I mean, something that's really kind of optimized for it. So it's probably not on my short list on there, but in terms of a good looking controller, I'm not sure I've seen many that are better than that. Particularly if you're a Street Fighter fan at all, I don't see how you can go wrong. So I think it's a great looking, and I'm assuming kind of quality of play, heft, durability, and stuff. You've been um, pleased with that.
Yeah, so this is made by Retrobit. They're the official controller makers now for all Sega products. So that's where I got my official Saturn controllers and everything when I got my modded Saturn is their controllers. So this is all official. This is, Street Fighter branded, official Sega product through Retrobit. So it feels and looks just like an original Sega 6-button controller.
Great.
So everything's exactly the way it should be. It is perfect for my use. So I mean, if this were a skip it, obviously I already bought it for a skip it listed buy it. But I mean, I can't recommend this enough for my use for it, especially because I have the branded Evercade Alpha. So this just looks perfect with it. It looks like this came with it practically, if you didn't know already. But the adapter at the end is just the weird part. And again, for $20 for the controller, I think you really can't complain about this. The controllers that I have with the different adapter pieces, those were more than $20. So the fact that this is just this, two-pronged attack at the end of it, I would just say again, just keep, think about your space, and that's not small.
Yeah, a bit of a challenge there. So, yeah, no, but it looks great. So, let us know in the comments if um, this is on your short list, and let us know if you bought it through our affiliate link in the description. That would be great. But no, it does look pretty sweet, and I kind of keep getting closer and closer to having the non-portable Evercade Alpha available in this household as well, but I haven't quite pulled the trigger yet. But if I do, um, I think I might, even though, like I said, I'm not a huge Street Fighter guy, the branding on it's good looking. It looks great. So, and it's an alpha, so I could play whatever so many things on it. So that'd be something to think about. So if I get my alpha and if I go Street Fighter, then it's a buy it. But a little bit of a
And per
caveat.
our last conversation with that, I did measure it. I forget the exact measurements, but it's just under a foot wide. It was like 11 inches, I believe, and just under a couple inches shy of 2 feet tall.
So, yep, definitely not portable.
No, not portable. And made of actual wood, not like particle board. So it's got weight to it.
Yeah, which you want for a bar top.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be pretty cool. Excellent. Well, let us know what you think. We'd appreciate if you'd like and subscribe to the channel. Also, check out Hard No. It's the world's shortest podcast, published daily, less than 1 minute of fun every day. There's merchandise afoot as well. Check that out. Link in the description. It'll be somewhere around the Amazon affiliate link for this controller. And check that out as well. And of course, check out Bog Panda Vision, which is our micro homebrew software leg of the Bog Panda Empire. I got Game Boy games, Slapdash, a Doom level for you to download for free. Um, some amazing C64 work by Mike, and an online game, Dr. Mike online game as well. So there's a lot of goodies out there. Check that out there. Hopefully it'll be something you have interest you can take advantage of. So, and there are multiple versions of Slapdash for every holiday. Even there's an Arbor Day Slapdash coming one of these days, pretty soon. But
Feels like
lots of
Street
stuff.
Fighter 2.
Lots of variants out there. So check it out. Cool. Anything else to add, sir?
No, I think that's it. Again, for $20, you can't do better for a controller, in my opinion.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Bog Panda.